It's the week of the Steam Next Festival, so unless you are supremely confident in your game or have publisher support, I would usually advise not releasing your game in this period. But these brave developers are trying, so new releases begins with Kingsblood, an auto chess RPG where you're leading a band of mercenaries in a world with a tyrant as the king. You have to get the right mix of characters in your party, taking on various contracts and upgrading your guild hall as you slowly build up your strength on your quest for justice, where the addition of a narrative structure to the auto chess genre is very interesting. This next trailer is self-explanatory, so enjoy.
The lost hero of Nostalgaia, the world of video games, is getting what video games need. DLC! Embark on a new adventure in the depths of Nostalgaia. Discover the Builder's Sanctuary. Survive the sewers. Forge ancient armor. Use new weapons. Face down new enemies. No platform wars here.
Time. There is never enough time.
This video is brought to you by the Pegasus Expedition, a sci-fi space grand strategy title that is releasing out of early access after 8 months, adding and expanding systems since then and is in a good state. Set in a pivotal point in human history where our existence is threatened, leading to humanity sending an expedition to the Pegasus galaxy in order to find safe haven, where you are the leader of one of the 3 fleets of ships sent on this mission. As the leader, you will have to make difficult decisions to ensure the survival of your people, all while fending off enemy factions, building and sustaining your own economy, as well as the tricky art of diplomacy in order to get what you want. The fleet space combat systems are in depth as well, where strategy will be critical to your success, and underpinning all of this is the constant need to advance up the tech tree in order to place yourself in the best position for success, being an epic scale strategy game that you can check out via the link in the description below. A game with a fascinating premise is the Bookwalker Thief of Tales, an isometric and first-person adventure game where you play as a writer with the ability to literally dive into books where you need to steal notable artifacts like Excalibur in order to restore your ability to write. The worlds of literary fiction are brought to life here with endless possibilities, where it's first and foremost a puzzle and adventure game which is very intriguing. This next title comes to us from a Chinese developer, where Immortal Tales of Rebirth is a top-down action RPG with a cultivation theme, where you play as a young master having to develop his martial arts prowesses, tame spirit beasts, and to restore your sight. The hand-painted art looks gorgeous, although there is a lot going on screen visually and is very busy in combat, but where this certainly has potential but will be an early access release. It remains to be seen how good the English translation will be, but I'll be keeping an eye on this. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below. I don't have too much to add to this 1.0 release trailer for Tinkertown, a sandbox crafting RPG, where I'll let the developer explain some key features.
1. Play alone or in co-op mode with your friends. 2. Explore vast and wonderful worlds. 3. Build a cozy town with your own house from scratch. 4. Decorate and customize your home with style. 5. Forge mighty items. 6. Embark on thrilling quests alongside your friends. 7. Conquer dungeons in epic raids. 8. Defeat small monsters and colossal bosses. 9. Loot to your heart's content and level up with fabulous treasures. 10. After all the hard work is done, indulge in some leisurely enjoyment. And by the way, did we mention that you can also do all of this?
We don't know what is happening on the surface of this planet. Those creatures aboard Pioneer. Someone was trying to smuggle them out. We have to warn Earth.
We save everyone we can. We're Marines. That's the job.
Gather a security team and come with me.
McDonald just linked in. Told us you'd be stirring up trouble. Again.
Just one bigger title this week in the licensed game Aliens Dark Descent, a real-time squad-based tactics title where you're leading a squad of soldiers who have to stop a xenomorph outbreak on a planet. Despite the look, this is a single-player game and is not a common genre at all, which makes this quite the curiosity.
How many of those things are there?
Deploying sentry gun! Fire! Bring it down!
Cerberus protocol activated. Purging contaminate vector.
But we can't stay, it's not safe.
Smaller games begin with Feed All Monsters, a cozy line puzzle game where you're drawing a path between the monster and human in order to feed them, looking absolutely wonderful. Trouble Juice looks like a fairly standard roguelike platformer, but there's something to this game where it seems like the game is split into distinct arenas which you progress through by moving left-right and could be neat. Tuttle Starflower Harvest self-describes as a farming sim, but it is not the top-down variant that Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley made popular, but rather it's a side-scroller instead. You have to grow flowers and harvest them while fighting off pests, with a decent minimalist look as well. The top 5 begins with Mars First Logistics, a beautiful construction puzzle game in the vein of titles like The Siege, where you're building various rovers on Mars so that they can accomplish specific objectives. The visuals are a highlight, but I'm not quite sure if Mobius-like is the best way to describe this game. See the recently covered Sable as an example, but it sure is gorgeous and is one for tinkerers. I was caught by surprise by the release of Forever Skies as well, a first-person survival title set in a post-apocalypse where Earth has been devastated by an ecological disaster and you're now living on a high-tech airship base. As such, you're exploring buildings and high-rise apartments in order to scavenge for resources to be used in crafting and upgrades in that survival game kind of way, where this was successfully kickstarted and has a good amount of hype. Tinkerers and building game fans rejoice, since this is a good week for such games where the beautiful Nova Lands is one to watch, exemplified by this gorgeous animated trailer as well as pretty pixel art and gameplay. You are exploring a new planet, setting up automation equipment and production chains so that you can maximize your efficiency. This is in order to get more upgrades and buildings, factorial style, which eventually unlocks better equipment and weapons so that you can go out and explore. The latter part of this trailer shows off some more interesting areas, such as what appears to be a hub area with NPCs, as well as space exploration and mining, so it looks to be the complete package and should be excellent. I was pleasantly surprised by the quick turnaround window of Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine between announcement and release, where this is a Super Meat Boy spin-off title that looks to put a spin on the classic action puzzler. At its core, it is a matched 4 game where you have to place tiles of the same colour together in order to explode them, but where this adds in precision platformer elements and traps and hazards that you need to avoid. As such, if you love the frantic arcade puzzler, this is certainly of interest. I previewed this all-action first-person shooter when covering the upcoming games of the month, where this, very strangely, is named after a sea cucumber, where their main defensive mechanism is to spew out all their guts in a process known as evisceration, which of course is why the game is named in this way. You are a super soldier with superhuman strength, reaction speed, manifesting in bullet time, and even the ability to cloak to get the jump on enemies, where the game begins when you are broken out of a black site with no prior memories, but then are tasked with getting revenge on your captors, having to find the truth behind your existence. This looks absolutely fantastic for a game from a smaller developer, which makes Trapang 2 a game of interest, and I like it that they're not trying to be Call of Duty with more awesome first-person shooters here.